opposition lawmakers in the House of Representatives during the week called on the executive to explain the details of the transaction which led to the seizure of $9.3 million cash in South Africa. The lawmakers made the call after they staged a walkout of plenary after a motion to investigate the money was thrown out. They say the transaction raises a lot of questions that must be addressed and explained to Nigerians.
The motion was brought up on the need to investigate the attempt to smuggle $9.3 million into South Africa. The mover of the motion said the transaction raises a lot of concern.
$9.3 million cash into South Africa, packed in 3 suitcases, and claims that the money was meant for buying arms for the Nigerian intelligence services. Revenue services seized the money, which is now being held at the country central bank, while police are currently investigating the matter, as the money detained was undisclosed, undeclared, and above the prescribed legal limit of South Africa.
The Speaker, however, took this position on the matter and put it to a vote.
I'll put the question on this motion because I've said we're not going to debate it for reasons cited by Honorable Kau. We'll not debate it, so I just put the question. If the motion is carried, we'll refer it to the appropriate committees. My dear colleagues, those amendments. My dear colleagues, those in favor of this motion, say aye. Those against, say nay. The nays have it.
This led to a walkout by opposition lawmakers.
Let's go.
Speaking to journalists, they explained their position.
For us as a people and for us as lawmakers, we find this as unacceptable. We find this as unethical. Yes. We find this as illegitimate. Correct. And in our view, it is an illegal transaction. Correct. Nigerian government or the Nigerian people an explanation as to where that source of money come from, and for the real purpose for which it was meant. There is no denying the fact that given the circumstances of this transaction, there were ill motive and it cannot be unassociated with money laundering or an attempt to steal Nigerian money belonging to the people of Nigeria up to the tune of 1.5 billion, 9.3 million US dollars. We called on federal government, we called on this government to tell Nigerians why it has to do what it has done. And there is no amount of official intimidation, official harassment of the good people of this country and those who intend to speak out on this matter that should shield this transaction that is clouded in illegality and illegitimacy.
They also questioned the decision of the Speaker not to allow a debate on the matter. Their position, however, was disputed by the Deputy Majority Leader.
I must confess to you that under our rules, issues of security are not part of it. The rules of the House is clear. What are we even talking about? This matter is already in the public domain. So what is sacrosanct in members of the parliament who holds the mandate of the Nigerian people from discussing such an issue? So I do not think that those matters that have not been debated are within the purview of the specific rules which allows them not to be debated. But security issues such as this one, this is not even a security matter. This is a matter of stealing, a matter of corruption, a matter of money laundering, and there is nothing sacrosanct from it being debated. I want to assure you that the reason they did not allow for debate for this matter is because they have no defense for what has happened.
Our guiding principle is the Constitution and the House rule. The provision of Section 14(2)(b) is very, very clear. The primary responsibility of government is the security and welfare of its citizens. Now, coming back to the House, you cannot just send a motion to a committee. The House will vote on it. Whether you debate or you don't debate, there are processes we go through. Sometimes we don't bother debating motions. And when the Speaker put that motion to vote, definitely the nay had it. What do you expect? You see, I find it sometimes very difficult where we play politics with every situation. We have had situations where the opposition defeats us on the floor of the House and we accept it. There was no justification for them to walk out today because the Speaker followed all the necessary procedures as is guided by the House rule. I stand to be corrected.
The Deputy Majority Leader said considering the motion would have amounted to a waste of parliamentary time.
We play cheap politics. If you see clearly, what did we go to South Africa to do? Purely to procure arms. Was able to acquire its nuclear warfare. It is an acceptable principle that you either go through the black market or you go through the conventional means. Now you have seen the challenges we are having today in respect of procuring arms from America and even the European countries, even down to even the Far East. Do we sit down and allow some hoodlums to kill our citizens?
The opposition lawmakers say this matter is far from over. They say Nigerians should demand an explanation while they, the lawmakers, will also try to reintroduce the matter on the floor of the House of Representatives.
The drama over the seizure of $9.3 million by South African authorities continued the following day, but in a different dimension. Following a motion moved the day before on an alleged attempt to smuggle $9.3 million into South Africa, which led to a walkout by opposition lawmakers, another motion was moved also surrounding the matter, but this time over breach of privilege.
If it were merely a paper publication, I would have said newspapers, media houses normally and generally carry sensational headlines to get their papers sold. But surprisingly and shockingly, an honorable member confirmed to the press that rumors is making round that PDP members were bribed with $50,000 each to kill the motion. It is not to my knowledge that $50,000 or any amount at all was received by any member, let alone myself.
The Deputy Speaker, who was presiding, called for caution on the part of lawmakers. He then ruled on the matter.
The House has once again come to taking the center stage of our polity for the wrong reasons. That is regrettable. I do not intend to open this debate. I've heard the prayers, the submission of Honorable Sam Sokwa, the chairman of the House Committee on Rules and Business. This matter would be referred to the Committee on Ethics and Privileges.
This ruling, however, did not end the matter as the man in the eye of the storm sought to speak. This almost led